Klein playing the British on the color blue. He has got an in-base wood treasure, so a pretty good start. You love to see this when you're playing any kind of civilization that has a focus on wood, and the British are definitely a civilization that has focus on wood. So whether Kaiser opts for a more economic focus on the water, or whether he's going to be looking to do some sort of all-in rush against Knusch. Now remember, Kaiserklein would have had to pick his civilization first going into this map. We do see Kaiserklein putting down the trading post, so not opting to go for a dock, not opting to put down any more of the manor houses. It looks like we might be running a little bit slow, only at 34 seconds at the moment, so not the best. You'd think a guy with a 3070 would be able to run these replays pretty well, but unfortunately it looks like we're going a little bit slow. But let's look over the opponent's side. We see Knuschelbär spawning in on the north map in the color green. He's on berries at the moment because, as the Japanese, you can't actually hunt from your Ceros. So we've got he's moved out across the map, picking up a 120 wood treasure. Really, really nice pickup here, and acknowledging that Kaiserklein's probably building that trade post, a little bit too busy with that, hasn't scouted it. Kaiserklein continues to the north, spotting a 100 XP treasure, going for this despite having his shipment. He will be having his shipment before he gets this. So really appreciating it. Looks like he's going to get a bad reset right there. Yeah, unfortunate. Sort of one of the things you've got to watch out for with these native huts or native encampments is that they will reset. Let's have a look and see if Knuschelbär is aware. He's not aware of this treasure, but picking up that 120 wood, you'd hope that he wasn't. The Portuguese allies now coming in. No, what's the word I'm looking for? No surprise right there with the Portuguese ally. The first shrine is now going down. It's a forward shrine. It's a very aggressive shrine as well. And Knusch not skipping a beat. East Indiaman Company. Absolutely impressive. And also, are we going to be seeing the second shrine drop? It doesn't look like we're going to be seeing a second shrine dropped. Despite having the Portuguese consulate, these are 107 wood for each one. We're going to get a little bit of idle time in here for Knusch. Only very minute, probably a second at most. And on the north side of the map, we've still got this explorer that's walking around, but not really looking to put down a shrine. I suspect he's going to be saving that wood for his fishing boats. And as we know with Knusch's deck, he's got a lot of upgrades in here. We've got whale oil, we've got 2x fish market, we've got the rendering plant. So a lot of upgrades, and so really investing in the water there and saying that, you know what, shrines are forever. Well, no, they're not. He's saying to himself, I don't like shrines, I like fishing boats. That's what he's really saying. And now we've got Kaiser macroing. Looks like he's going to be hitting the standard British timing, aging up just a little bit after the 4 minutes. But it definitely seems like coming out of this that there's a bit of preparation going on from Knuschelbär. And the main reason why is just bringing out the Japanese for the second time on this map. Interestingly, we see a couple of pockets where there's just no fishing, or no fish. And over on the right-hand side of the map, we do actually have the 80 wood treasure that's about to be cleaned up by Kaiserklein. Virginia Company is coming in behind this. Apologies, guys. I'm just going to have to go in and fix up my... where is it? There we go. My scroll speed, because I did note that it was going a little bit too fast. Kaiserklein must play on full scroll speed, because I believe it is his replay that we're watching. So with regard to the replays are mixed. So we get some, we asked for replays from both Kaiserklein and from Knusch. We asked them both to send them in, and we see, what is it going down? I would suspect that this has to be the Toshogu Shrine, and indeed it is. But look at this, immediately the elephants begin moving away from the Toshogu Shrine. This one is moving towards it. Yo, but we've got 3 villages on the Toshogu Shrine, which is something that you don't really see a lot. So that's quite curious. 3 villages is a lot, but the fishing boats are beginning production. 2 fishing boats in production at the moment, only costing 50 wood per fishing boat. Actually, not too bad, really. That's the exact same as schooners. I guess the primary thing with the East Indiaman Company is that it provides you that dock rickshaw and doesn't reduce the speed at all. So with schooners will reduce the speed. Let's take a look and see at Kaiserklein's deck. We know that he's sent Virginia Company. He hasn't sent schooners. He doesn't even have schooners in his deck. This is a very fighting deck. We've got privateers, we've got the frigate, we've got 2 caravels, and we've got improved warships. So we don't see any of those big cards like the +2 range that we sometimes see coming out. Kaiserklein managing to have this monodalism on the south side, picking up an 80 food or 90 food treasure. Not a bad pickup. Very curious what Knusch is going to be doing with this explorer. It's just kind of sitting here, not just kind of minding his own business. We'll turn on line of sight, just see what each of the players have explored. Kaiserklein got a fair bit of knowledge. I suspect that Kaiserklein's probably going to be going for some sort of timing attack. Whether we're going to see like a semi-FF out of him, a Virginia Company semi-FF. Obviously sending Virginia Company, already having that shipment in stock. Probably going to be seeing the 700 wood sent immediately. Where is it? Where is it? Where's that 700 wood? There's that 700 wood. So really no doubt he's probably going to be knowing... this is Kaiserklein we are talking about, so undoubtedly he would be looking over here and seeing that this has 450 food. And knowing that he is on the water. So you can actually see it does show, does indicate, even though he doesn't have that in his line of sight, that it's happening. And oh my lord, I know that this is Knuschelbär, but sometimes he really makes me think he might be a Knisi. Just because of these walls. You look at these walls, you recognize these walls. I feel like we might be seeing exactly what happened in the H versus Knuschelbär map or game on this map. Now, Kaiserklein is scouting this out. He does know that there are plenty of walls going down, spotting all of this and really knowing what is up. Now, he would have checked the deck. He would have seen, okay, you're going water. That's not a problem at all. But we've now got the 3 fishing boats as well coming in. So keep in mind, Noosh hasn't opted to send those 3 fishing boats early. He's instead opted to send the East Indiaman Company. So he's really going to be focusing on the water. Now we've got the 600 wood that's arrived underneath the town center. Going to be putting up a couple of docks. Here we see this villager probably going to be building a dock, but we've actually picked up 4 gatherers. Not too bad. This, you know, I said it earlier. We've got to have Japanese players actually start walling in their hunts, and it seems like we've actually got that. Obviously, not the plan. But a couple of shrines now going down on the map. We've got forward villages here as well. Another villager going into herd. Doesn't look, actually, might look like he's putting down line of sight menace. We seem to have a bit of a pitter-pattering of line of sight menace. Oh, and a couple in the base. Jeez, talk about this. We're at 5 minutes 44. It's a little bit slow. Hello. That's where the outpost was gone. I was a bit curious what direction the outpost will be going, but it definitely seems like it's more of an aggressive direction. 600 wood as well coming in behind this. So the question is, at this point, what is the way that Kaiser is going to be looking to shut down the water? And I would suspect with the 600 wood coming in behind, we're probably going to see maybe a second dock dropped. But I would suspect caravels, and he's going to look to time this with the 2 caravels from the home city and really just shut Noosh out of the water completely. Noosh has got 2 docks, 3 docks up already, and putting down a second layer of walls. Oh my god, it is Knisi. But in all seriousness, though, that's a lot of walls that are going on. Noosh really being careful about that. And indeed, we see the 2 caravels coming up immediately behind this. So we've got a caravel in queue. It doesn't look like a second dock has been put down just yet. We've got this villager here. Now, I don't believe Noosh has scouted this. If we go to Noosh's perspective, he doesn't even know this exists yet. So he's just happily booming. He's not too worried. He's got... he doesn't have 3 in queue. He's only got 2 in queue. But he has actually shipped the funes. Going for the early fune shipment, just like in the previous game against H. And discovering 125 XP for himself out in the water. He's actually got 3 funes, so he's made his own funes. And opting to send rendering plant here. Now, I'm curious whether rendering plant is actually going to come in before we see Kaiser's, apologies guys, I say Knisi once and then it gets stuck in my head. Before we see Kaiser's aggression on the water, because I suspect he will cancel this. But we do see the first caravel, then the second, and the third caravel beginning to move in tandem. They do this thing where they all keep themselves in a beautiful line, and that's exactly what Kaiser's doing. Still hasn't been spotted yet by Noosh. He's got this in queue. If he does spot this aggression, which he does now, I do suspect we're going to see him cancel this and immediately send improved warships from his home city. Is it gonna come through? It looks like it comes through. So a pretty big oversight there from Noosh. I was expecting that we'd see improved warships, but Kaiserklein really going to an effort here to shut this down. We've got 3 caravels that are out here, and on the north side of the map, we do have the funes beginning to move around. And the question is, are they going to be able to take this down before the funes can get into location? And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. The funes really looking like... We see a broadside attack, 2 broadsides going off on that single fune, and now the defense that really... Oh my god, the caravel goes down. 400 resources there being lost by Kaiserklein. So Kaiserklein is committing quite a lot of resources into this attack. But at the same time, we've got some pikemen going down on land. But what do you know? There's a few walls here. Jeez, Noosh has really been doing well with this. He just knows what's going to be happening. This wall now being... Or this dock now being repaired as well. And Kaiserklein actually pulling back the pikes on this wall because he respects that Noosh is going to be able to take them out. Improved warships also coming in behind this. And we do see that Kaiser is macroing for what looks like a Fortress Age attack. He does have the max manor houses down. And it looks like Knusch is being a little bit careless, loses the Japanese explorer, donates over some experience over to Kaiser, says, hey buddy, you can have this, but we've got more caravels in queue. And we do see the second dock getting dropped. There's going to be quite a large emphasis here, focused on fighting against the sea, really making sure that Knusch isn't able to stay on the sea. And we've got the improved warships at the same time coming in from Knusch. So now both players really mirroring each other in sending this in. We've still got only 3 docks, so not opting for 4 docks. So maybe Knusch has actually watched back those games. Actually, no, he wouldn't have had a chance to watch back those games yet. So he's probably, you know, gone away from that game and said, you know what, 4 docks was a little too many. 3 docks is all I really need. Even though I don't have my schooners reducing the time that it takes, it's just, there's not enough. And now the pikes finding something to do. Kaiserklein's pikes on the move, locating this shrine. But you can see from Kaiserklein's perspective, there's no other shrines that he can really find out on this map. He's got musketeers that he's got preparing, but there's no other shrines. If we go take a look at Knusch's view, he does have some shrines over to the west of the map, but nothing in particular that it really stands out. Another shrine down here, but I don't think this has been scouted out by Kaiserklein. It hasn't. So one right here that he could be sieging as well. If these musketeers make it to here, they are going to do it. But we've got a bit of a battle unfolding on the sea. Apologies, we might have missed a little bit early, but a couple of broadside attacks heading down onto the caravel. We've got 4 Funes coming out from Knuschelbär. And Kaiserklein with the upgraded caravels, also with the upgraded Funes as well. Looking like one of the ships did go down here for Kaiser, so he pushed in with the 5 caravels. He's retraining it immediately and getting armor plating from from the upgrades. 1400 health on these caravels now, really committing to stopping this attack. We've now got the shrine being sieged, and the question is, where are the pikes? Have they moved to the north? They have indeed moved to the north, beginning to siege these shrines. Now, one of the issues that Knusch was running into yesterday against, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Against H, is he had a problem with his wood. The entire game, it felt like he just never had enough population space, and it looks like he's learnt his lesson. 90 population space coming out for Knusch at the moment. So really in a much better position than he was against H. Is he going to be going up with the Golden Pavilion? Let's take a look. He's going up with the Golden Pavilion. So not choosing to go up with the Daimyo as he did in the game yesterday. Do we have a bit of a battle unfolding yet? No real battle unfolding on the water, but Knusch also getting armor plating as well. Let's take a look and see what Kaiserklein's up to. Kaiserklein also macroing for an industrial age. Just kidding. He's going up to a fortress age. Going to be going up with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea. No surprises there on a water map. So that's going to be providing him a caravel as well as some wood, which is going to be able to further fund his addiction to caravels. If he is able, or if he's smart, he's going to be able to overpop on caravels. So for those of you who don't know, well, it looks like this caravel may get picked off. Kaiser being very careful to pull it back. So caravels have a build limit, 5. And this is what, this caravel here is going to be attacking on the north side. So really, Kaiser just being on the ball here. And at the same time defending and going up with this politician is going to ship him another caravel. So he's actually going to be able to get to 6 caravels. The limit is 5 caravels, but this will enable his 6th caravel. And we can see behind it, Kaiser's really not putting a lot of emphasis on wood, which makes me think he may actually be looking to hit some sort of industrial timing. It definitely looks like he's macroing that way. We do see he's now picking up another batch, and Knuschelbär has hit the 3rd age. So 11 minutes 30, not a terrible time. And take a look at what he's sending from the home city. Have we got anything in yet? We don't, because he's popped. He's been overpopped. And Knusch overreacting here, sending 4 Funes to go and deal with this single caravel. And what do we spot a response on the south side? We don't spot a response on the south side just yet. So despite Knusch reaching the 3rd age, opting to send Fish Market. Of all the cards that he could have sent any of these upgrades. He's instead sending Fish Market. Losing a couple of Ashigari Musketeers though. I'm just going to take a quick sip of my Red Bull. Delicious. And nutritious. And keeps me energized. This stream is not sponsored by Red Bull. Though Red Bull, if you are listening, we do welcome a sponsorship from you. We know that you've sponsored other Age of Empires tournaments, with specifically the Age of Empires 2 Red Bull Wololol. We'd love to see something similar for Age of Empires 3. I'm sure you guys in the chat would like to see that as well. So if you would, let me see a whole bunch of, I don't know, what we don't have a Red Bull emote. We need a Red Bull emote. Can we get Red Bull emotes, please? Strongo, thank you. Bit of a fight, a bit of a tussle, still going on land. These shrines have been immediately replaced. Red Bull does indeed give you wings, but we've got, right here, we've got the flaming arrows being trained. So I really like this play from Knusch. Instead of sending his flaming arrows from the home city. He's sending an upgrade card instead, investing in the resources that he's got on the sea. 65 villages currently. Looks like the caravel from the home city or from the age up is going to just come in, do a sneaky shot and say, hey, this fish, you can't have this fish. You come and have this fish, I'm going to just be out of it. I'm just going to just take you out. Kaiserklein really pulling ahead in score at this point, though. Kaiserklein looking like he's actually prepared quite well for this map. One of the things about announcing the map pull ahead of time is that you can tell people, hey, this is going to be the map, you need to prepare for it. And that's exactly what Kaiserklein's doing, but it looks like he's going to be losing at least... Oh my gosh, it was so close. These are so tanky, aren't they? 1400 health. The first caravel is going to be going down. A lot of damage on these fumes at the back. If we take a look at the health pools of them, Knuschelbär's got 3 that are all on about half HP and 1 that's not. Now, keep in mind, there's 4 of these or 5 of these that you can be training. So he's missing 1 at the moment. Not enough emphasis being placed on the water at the moment. I really want to see him clear him off the water. Get him out of there. But the problem is, if you do that, then what's going to happen on land? Take a look at what's happening on land. And at the same time, we've got the fish moving in, or we've got the fishing boats moving in to clear out this, the Mola. But we've got a bit of a land attack. The Yumi archers, as well as the Ashigaru, which have now been upgraded into Discipline Ashigaru, are beginning to siege the outpost. I'm really enjoying these games on Borneo. I feel like Borneo just creates amazing games. There's so much action, and it's not really segregated either. It's like it's all over the place. But now we've got a huge standing army coming in from Kaiserklein. If I'm Knuschelbär right now, I'm absolutely... Oh, I'm pulling down my dax. I'm saying, I'm so sorry, Mum. Oh, this is terrible. There's 3 falconets on the back line. It looks like he's going to get trapped completely. Is Noosh going to be able to make it to the funes? It doesn't look like. He was trying. He was trying, but the funes said, no, we'll just get us out of here, friend. And all of Noosh's army just going down completely. We're going to see an absolute score switch from here. 2,600 down to 1,900. More than a 6,000 point difference at this time. Now, no real harassment heading up on the north side. Still able to pick up those whales with no real problems. But looks like the Fune is going to be able to take out the Caravel. The Caravel almost managing to get away. 275 HP on this one. But still no outpost here to really defend or hone this down. No advanced dock in the deck for Kaiserklein. So he's not going to be able to defend these. No fishing boats of his own to really put them in and use them as outposts. But a massive army on land. And I'm curious if we're going to see him attempt to siege. What I'd like to see are some flaming arrows, and that's indeed what we see. We also see whale oil being sent from the home city. So Noosh really knowing what is up. He's sent fish market twice as well as whale oil. Wow. This is greedy. The question is this going to be able to pay off in time? Because I suspect that you've got a timing attack in front of you and that whale oil probably isn't the right choice. I'd be maybe thinking about 2 flaming arrows in this position. A little bit of miss macro as well. 1,500 food building up. But Kaiserklein putting down 3 TCs at the same time behind this. Really saying, you know what? Like, even if this attack doesn't work, I'm still going to be invested in my economy. Kaiserklein now pushing through the second wall. And... We've got a big boy. We've got a big boy. For anybody who missed out the H versus Noosh series, we saw a lot of these big boys. They're a little bit difficult to pronounce their names, so we're just calling them the big boys instead. The second layer of wall now going down. If Knisi was playing this, he would have had at least 6 layers of walls. So really just quite a big oversight here from Noosh, I would be saying. Let's check in on Kaiser, see what he's up to. He's up to 73 villages at this point. Has he sent 8 villages from the home city? He has. He's got the upgrades for his musketeers. Let's go back to the fight and see what's going on. At the same time, we've got a bit of action at the north side. The Fune going to be able to take out the villager or the explorer building the town center. The town center's not going to go up by the looks of it. A little bit of an aggressive town center, so definitely getting punished here. And also in the line of sight of the Japanese shrine. So really a question that you're going to be asking yourself, Kaiser, was it a wise decision to put this right on the coast? Definitely a great spot. I do not agree with... I definitely agree with it being placed on the... Is this a peninsula? I feel like I'd call it a peninsula. I'm thinking of a famous quote from The Simpsons right now where they said, Monster Island, I thought it was only a name. And then the response is, actually what they meant is that it's a peninsula. Because there's monsters chasing them and killing them. But a huge amount of flaming arrows now coming out. But we've got culverins in response, which is exactly what he needs. These culverins are really going to seal the deal. Culverin out, not taking any shots at this point, really just saving their shots, saving their loads. And there we see the first culverin taking, or the first flaming arrow being taken out by the culves. It takes 6 seconds for each one of these culves to reload. So being very careful. Now some of the army actually going inside the big boy. Culverins are doing their beautiful unpacking that they always love to do. Unpacking and then moving just very much closer up and taking shots off at the big boy. Big boy's down to 1,700 health. Keep in mind, inside this big boy, we can't actually see because we're on Kaiserklein's perspective. There's 3 flaming arrows. The big boy's down to 500 health and the flaming arrows have somehow managed to get out just in time. Is it going to be enough, though? I feel like in this position, Kaiserklein's definitely got him backed into a corner. Noosh is still relatively keeping up on score. He's closed the gap a little bit. Keep in mind, Brits do overscore slightly. We've got more action as the Caravels now begin to push in. The health is looking relatively similar. The stats of them are almost identical, with the exception of attack. Oh my god, attack and damage. And at the same time, it looks like we're missing a little bit of action over on the west side of the map. Some musketeers burning down a shrine. But villagers now going down for Noosh. Noosh is down to 55 villagers. Kaiserklein up on 81 villagers, not a single idol. Looks like he's macroing behind this for an age 4. On top of having those 2 town centers down. The town center, speaking of town centers down, it looks like Knuschelbär's just lost his town center. This is the original town center. So hopefully we come and see some bad mana surgeons placing down some bad mana hospitals. That's what you like to see. You really like to see it. The Falconet's still here over on the back line, sieging the Toshogu Shrine and getting a couple shots in off on the Yuumi. Culverin now moving closer to the shoreline, really stopping Noosh from having these Funes in on the fight. But the Yuumi are still standing, still fighting. Don't have the discipline upgrade yet. But behind this, we've got Knuschelbär going age 4. He said, I've stacked so much resources, I need to go age 4 because they're just sitting there doing nothing. And out of all things, he decides to go up with the Great Buddha. So now he's hit age 4. He's got an absolute plenty resources. Is he going to be able to... He's got one Takusen that he can send, or one of the big boys that he can send. Is it called a Takusen? Takusen. Yeah, Takusen. Well done, Drongo. You got it right. But he's lost his entire base. And now we see the score shift. It's gone from 34,000 up to 22,000. So a 12,000 shift in score despite hitting age 4. And more fishing boats being trained. I don't know at this point whether you want to be training fishing boats. I feel like at this point you probably want to be training military, just because fishing boats probably aren't going to be able to seal the deal against these Culverin. But we do see a monitor being trained. A monitor being trained by Knuschelbär, apologies. And more Culverin coming in to back these initial Culverin up. Behind this, we've got the Tycoon being the age up of choice for Kaiser. And slowly sieging down these shrines. We're going to turn off the line of sight, head into Kaiser perspective, see what's going on. And it definitely seems like we've got a lot of action now. I really don't know in this perspective what Noosh can do to possibly win this back. We've got the monitor shot comes in and takes out both of the Culverin. Okay, that is really the power of the monitor that you're seeing there. That is incredible. That is insane. Because if you clear out all these Culverin, then you can bring your big boys in and you can defend yourself. The issue is he going to have enough time to do it? I don't think he's going to have it, because he's got a big boy out here doing a little bit of a shuffle, bringing it in. But the Culverin, even though they're over on the edge here, you're going to have to wait for that timing shot to come up. But we do see the second monitor being trained from this dock. I wonder if Kaiserklein is going to recognize this and focus down the dock, because he knows that if a second one does come out, he's going to be in a little bit of a dilly of a pickle. We see the cannons actually taking out the fishing boat, the villager sinking to the bottom. And at the same time, we've got Falconets not really being able to make up their mind. Culverin not being able to do the same thing. Taking out the Buddha. That's a little bit of terrorism. I probably wouldn't be taking out the Buddha. It is considered to be a cultural icon. And the flaming arrows now pop out on top. Just really getting into the action. Thinking that they're Mamelukes. We've got one Falconet that goes down. And at the same time, we've got a bit of a battle on the north-hand side. We've got the Caravels moving in. 1,400 health versus the Funes. The monitor that exists. The second monitor is about to pop out. Are we going to see it just absolutely just... Come on, let's see it. No, careful. Oh my gosh, it's down to 300 health. Oh, it doesn't kill them. It doesn't actually kill them. They're not upgraded at all. Just for whatever reason, it didn't kill them. The monitor managing to get away, and at the same time, Kaiserklein really backing Knuschelbär into a corner. He's left to run his villagers up here. Only 50 villagers remain. How many of those are fishing boats? We've got 19 fishing boats. And we've got 90 villagers from Kaiserklein. So Kaiserklein very much dominating in this position. You can see the score now. Kaiserklein's score is eclipsing that of Knuschelbär. And I think at this point we can probably say that the game is over, and it's really just a matter of time until Knuschelbär calls the good game. I don't think that this is really a position that he can expect to win from at this point. Now, I will say that as we get towards the end of the game, guys, I will just remind you, if the stream does drop out, we will be right back. There's a bit of an issue at the moment with OBS and Age of Empires 3 when games do end. We've got flaming arrows beginning to take out the musketeers on the front line. But I don't think it's going to be enough, especially with a single Culverin that'll be able to just call the shots from here. Do we have any more flaming arrows in queue? No more flaming arrows in queue, but a lot of resources. It's definitely been some of the icons. Oh, 2 flaming arrows getting taken out by the Falconets. At the same time, we've got the monitors that look like they're moving into position to take out shots. not too much of a shot, unfortunately. What is OBS? OBS is the casting software that I'm using to bring this to you live through the power of the internet. And a couple of flaming arrows. We've got 3 flaming arrows inside the monitor that's got 436 health at the moment. The second monitor just taking shots, being very careful. Monitor not really knowing what to do, coming around towards this town center. Now, Noosh knows about this town center. He can see it in his line of sight. Very, very careful because he wants to pick up these villagers, but at the same time, he doesn't want to lose his monitor. And so now we've got the monitor that drops out the flaming arrows, picks them back up. Is the monitor going to be able to survive? It doesn't look like the villagers are going to be able to make it out safely. An absolute massacre of villagers. Somebody call... Who do you have to call when there's a massacre? A genocide? I don't know. It's probably some international body, but at the same time, it's definitely somebody who should have been contacted because there's so many villagers that have got down. We've got 27 villagers left for Knushelbär, and Drongo's going to call it at this point. Drongo's going to say GG, and we see a Kaiserklein BM Town Center absolutely getting dropped. Drongo called it. I said it would have been field hospitals made by surgeons, but we see just an equally BM Town Center getting dropped in the base of Knushelbär. Really a large victory coming out right there. GG is called. I'm going to pause it just because I don't want this game to force the stream out, and let's go. We're gonna jump straight. Oh no, record game, playback finished. Please don't F. Hopefully we don't see Fs in the chat. Hopefully we continue on to the next game. A really nice move there. Kaku saying F, Jas saying F, Sensei saying F. I hope that you guys are joking. Please tell me you guys are joking. You guys are joking, right? They're all joking. Okay, they're joking. Liars. Okay. Ryan Mankel says best game of all time. Best game of all time. I think his best game. Okay, you guys. All right, you guys are joking. Good. Let's avoid that. Kaiserklein definitely putting in a lot of work and really doing quite well. So we take a look at the resources gathered. Both players actually quite even, and we'd kind of expect that Kaiserklein would have that little bit of a bump in the early game. We can see he's up by about a K at 6 minutes, and. Is it live or not? No, we are live right now. I am live to you right now, but we are casting replays. Unfortunately, Age of Empires 3 can't reliably cast live games at the moment, so we have to cast from replays. But these games were played very recently. I've only received the replays in the last, gosh, what's the time at the moment? It's 5:57 a.m. for me, so in the last 2 hours, I've received these replays. And so we do see that Kaiser actually breaks out in the early game, but Noosh never really gets off his seat. He gets a little bit ahead here, but it falls back down, unfortunately. So just really not emphasizing enough, probably playing a little bit too greedy. A lot of the card choices that we saw out there from Knushelbär, he sent double fish market, whale oil, as well as rendering plant. He had all of these upgrades in, and I appreciate that. But when you're getting pushed in by 3 falconets and 50 musketeers, you probably shouldn't be sending rendering. You probably shouldn't be sending fish market. You should probably be sending flaming arrows. So well played by Kaiser.